If you watched the last video, you would know that we are less than 1,000 points now away from getting back to A+. And in this video, I'm determined to get there. Hey guys, and welcome along to another video. If this is your first time here and you like watching all sorts of sim racing related stuff, subscribe now and click the bell icon so you get notified of every video I upload and you don't miss a thing. We're back here at Suzuka for another 2 races here in Daily Race C. Now we qualified in 8th, we've got number 5 on the door, so need to get at least 8th in this one to keep progressing to our goal of A+. So we're going to come down the start finish straight here to start lap number 1 and keep your eyes up ahead here. There's no need to look behind. 3 people are going to go off at turn number 1. I have never seen so many before. We'll take it though, and we're already up from 8th to 5th by the start of the S's. Now the reason I say we didn't need to look behind, looking back to the start, Momo's was in 9th, which was luckily for us but particularly unlucky for him, because if you start at 9th here at Suzuka, you start right in the middle of the Casio triangle and you're pretty much facing the wrong way as the lights go green. And as you saw at the start, there was no hope of keeping up with the car in front. I think it was over a second by the time we even started the race. But that's all in the past now. I've got to look forward, get my head down and try and pull a gap to the guy behind and try the best I can to keep up with the front 4. Rejoining the action on lap number 4 here, things have been going well. We've managed to keep hold of the Brit up in front, and the front 4 have got away slightly just because they've spaced out, but nothing too terrible. You can see them up in front there, 3rd and 2nd. First I've got no hope for. Tuscan E has just absolutely smashed it pretty much the whole time that I have been on this race. Every race that I've been in, he has been in the front and leading. Looking behind here, I've absorbed the pressure from the Spaniard for 4 laps, but I'm going to make my first mistake here as we come into Degner 1. I'm going to get my outside wheels on the grass, Kvyat style, and bin it big time. I'm going to drop down all the way to 9th place, which is a real shame as things were looking good. I've got some further work to do now to get back up to the sort of positions that will get me the points I need to A+. Jumping further on down the lap here, just coming under the bridge before 130R. Keep your eyes up ahead here as we enter the Casio triangle. Something has gone wrong up ahead. Bandit is going to end up on the Astro, and then he's going to end up, if you keep your eyes on him here, going sideways into the pits. Now I'm not sure he meant that as it's only lap number 4. Usually you come in on lap number 5. But let me know what you think. Did he mean to come in or not? For me, I think it was a bit of a mistake, but it doesn't matter for now. We're up to 8th here, but it will affect him later on in the race when he has to deal with more worn tyres than he would have done had he come in on lap number 5. It's the end of the lap here and we are going to come in to the pits ourselves. As we enter the pits, we're less than a second behind 7th now. Staying within the white lines, like the gentleman that we are going to get past as we exit the pits by Bandit. But crucially, he does not get past the Finn, who is now going to be on fresher tyres, and hopefully this will mean that they will start battling and bring all of them closer towards us. But that's on the condition that I do not make any mistakes. And I'm going to make a mistake here coming out of Dunlop. I was just thinking about the guys in front too much, I guess. And I'm going to lose quite a chunk of time, but crucially keep our old friend Momo's at bay. And as you'll see, it was crucial because I'm going to start pulling away from him straight away, as we need to get back to these guys in front if we've got any chance of getting 8th or higher back. So for now, I'm just going to get my head back down and see if we can do anything about closing that gap. Rejoining the action here on lap number 8, coming out of Spoon, and we have managed to work back to within a second of the cars in front. Now if you look behind, the gap to Momo's is over 3 seconds now, so going back to how important it was that we kept him behind us, that just goes to show, because we are significantly faster than him at this point. So coming into the Casio triangle here, Bandit goes deep, compromising his exit speed. Now 8th is going to go for it here, and they go side by side as they cross the start finish straight, but then he's just going to get squeezed almost off the track there. M323F then goes onto the Astro at turn number 1, gifting us 8th, and we are now back where we started. We have 2 laps now to try and get past 7th, who, as we mentioned earlier, is actually on more worn tyres because he came in on lap number 4. Whilst I'm happy with 8th, because of the circumstances with the tyres between mine and his, if an opportunity arises, I'm going to have to try and take it. As we start the final lap here, we're now 0.7 seconds behind 7th. He seems to have found some pace since the issue on the last lap, but we are both reeling in the Finn up in front. We're going to stay on board here for the final lap, and we're getting closer and closer through my favourite part of the track, the S's. We just need to be patient through this last bit here, make sure that we get a good angle through Dunlop as we come up and over the hill towards the Degners. Now we're going to continue to close in through Degner number 1 and then Degner number 2. Try and get the power down as smoothly as possible, which we've managed to do. He's going to run a bit wide there as we come down into the hairpin. Now I take my usual wide line here. He's going to go deep and then appears to slam the door on us, and there is contact. I take the position but decide that isn't how I want to pass him, so I get out of the throttle and give the place back. You can see him putting his hazards on there to acknowledge that we've let him back through. Would you have given the place back? Was I too polite? I'm keen to know what you guys think in the comments section down below. I'm always seeing in the comments that I'm not aggressive enough and I'm too polite, but for me that is just decent racecraft. But I'm keen to know what you guys think in the comments section down below. So last opportunity here, he's going to go defensive into the Casio triangle. I try and brake as late as possible as well as him to try and go around the outside. We brake a little too late and both end up on the Astro, and I can't avoid hitting him as I come back on. So I'm going to stay out of the throttle here to ensure he keeps the place after my mistake, and we come across the line to take 8th place. Unfortunately, I didn't actually collect enough points to get to A+ in that one, but I had time for one last shot on this combo before I had to pack for my holidays. So let's see how this final shot goes. So we're in race number 2 here. I'm in 8th place for this one, and door number 9. I must literally be teetering on the cusp of A+ now. One more decent result and I'm positive we will get there. So we've got door number 9, as I've mentioned before in this one. Let's see how many people go off at turn number 1. I'm hoping for a couple to get us further up the field. So coming into turn number 1 here, 2 people are going to go off, gifting me 6th place. Now at this point I know that we're going to get more than enough points for A+, so I'm just going to try and stick with where we are. But make a note of the guy in 7th place, the Spaniard behind, as we will come across him later on. But as I mentioned before, as always, and even more so considering what is on the line here, I'm going to try and keep it cool for these opening laps and try and bring this one home. As we come across the line to start lap number 3 here, I'm going to put in the fastest lap of the race. Things are going well here. I'm only 3 seconds behind Ryan Hilliard in first place, and I'm managing to just drop the Spaniard there out of the slipstream behind. Coming into turn number 1 though, the Swedish driver back there made a mistake, and we are now up to 5th place. So things at this point are looking pretty damn good for that A+. As you can see there, we're less than 3 seconds, as I mentioned, behind the leader. They're all in shot here, so I just really need to keep it cool, not get too overexcited with this one. A 5th place would be more than enough to get the A+, which is the goal that we're after. I don't want to get too greedy and make a mistake, as we know this circuit can bite you if you do. Rejoining the action here on the next lap, lap number 4, and we are only 2.5 seconds behind the leader now. The Finn is going to go wide coming up the hill over at Dunlop, and as he recovers, we're going to get bumped off the track at Degner number 1. Now this is absolutely disastrous. We end up deep into the gravel there, and we're down in 7th place now. As you can see, the Finn up ahead gets a penalty. Now I'm not sure that he meant that. It looked to me as if he was just trying to recover. It was an awkward place anyway. So as always, let me know what you think in the comments section down below. So after a really good start, where we were circulating with definitely more than enough points to get to A+, I'm not quite sure if we can do it from 7th. So I've got to get my head back down, take a deep breath, have a positive mental attitude, and see if we can put in some good laps to catch up with the guys in front. We're just going to stay aboard here for a little bit longer as we pass the Finn, who gets a 5-second penalty, it turns out, for the issues that we had at Degner earlier on. And we're going to come down to the Casio Triangle for the final time before our in-lap starts. End of lap 5 then, and you should know by now that it is time to pit for some new boots. So some new boots on here, and we're going to come out on lap number 6, just about 3 seconds behind the Spaniard up in front. Obviously we passed the Finn earlier, so we're in 7th at this point, but we've got to get our head down and try and get after ERM Alvarez. Jumping forward ahead slightly to lap number 8, just as I finish off my lap in quali style to try and do the best I can and try and catch up to the guys in front. Keep your eyes up ahead, and it looks like there's contact between the Spaniard and the Italian. Now the Italian doesn't look like he is pitted at this point, so I'm going to have to try and dispatch of him quickly. But what he has done, he's brought the guys up in front within view. You can see that we've got 4th, 5th and 6th here, all in view as we come up and over the hill at Dunlop. It really does look like he hasn't pitted here, as we're catching up pretty rapidly behind him here, and we might have to try and make a move down into the hairpin. So we get a good run out of Degner 2 here. Let's see if he leads the inside open. Yep, he's going to do so. He's going to run a little bit wide there, so we're going to take the opportunity to go up the inside. I'm going to make sure that I give him enough room on the outside and don't run him out of road. And we're now back to about 2.5 seconds behind the Spaniard now. But I don't think at this pace it will be too long until we are back with him. Now we're going to stay on board here as we come down into the dip here before we come up the hill towards 130R. As you can see, it was really important to dispatch of that Italian, as he's dropped right off to over a second now behind us as we come down into the Casio Triangle. We need to keep our eyes up ahead here on the Spaniard as we come across the line to start lap number 9. I don't know if you can see it in the distance there, but there looks like a late lunge from the Spaniard, and they are both gonna go off. There you go there. So the Swede is off and the Spaniard is off. So I gain 5th place, and I'm now within striking distance of the Spaniard. So we're going to stay on board here over these next 2 laps to see if I can get 4th place. Now, I think, to be honest, there was enough in the bag here to get A+, but considering how close we are, and I feel that we've got the pace at this point, I do indeed want to go for it. So there's a few places that we are able to overtake on this lap. We've got turn number 1, we've got here at the hairpin, and we've got Spoon and probably the Casio triangle. Oh, I still can't get it right coming out of the hairpin here. Just don't know what is wrong. I don't know what other people's technique is to get out, but I just cannot get the power down, as you can see, and I just lose time every single time I come out of there. But the Spaniard is going to run wide there onto the AstroTurf. I almost follow him off, but we're going to end up into 4th, and amazingly 3rd place for some reason is just facing into the Armco. Oh, I have no idea what's happened there, but either way we've gone up from 5th to 3rd in real quick succession, and we could be bringing home this A+ in style with a podium. That would be absolutely amazing. Now, the reason I want to be A+, for those that do not know, is that my overall aim on GT Sport is to get to a live event. Any live event will do, but I just want to get to a live event. And the best chance for this, in my view, are through the FIA manufacturers races. There is absolutely no chance with the nations. The British guys are just too quick, so the better chance is to do so in the manufacturers. Now I need to be in the top lobbies here to get the most points to give me any chance, and being A+ is the only chance I'm going to have to do that. So fighting my way back up to A+ just before the season proper is really going to help me achieve my goal, and that's why it's such a big deal. Now, I told you earlier on to remember the name of that Spaniard, and this is why. He has other ideas. He's going to punt me here as we come into the hairpin, and then just squeeze me out off the track as we try and accelerate out of the hairpin. I managed to just keep Momos at bay. He's the last thing I need right now, and I need to get after this Spaniard and try and catch him down the straight to see if we can make a move down into the final corner. Now, I feel pretty aggrieved by this at this point, as bringing home A+ with a podium would have been absolutely brilliant. So I'm going to really try and make a move here down into the Casio triangle, or coming out just before the start finish line. So we're going to come down to the Casio triangle here. He's going to go a little bit deep and miss the apex. We hit it well, and then he's just going to get a bit lively, and we're going to try and dive up the inside. So it's going to be a neck and neck finish to the line, and he's going to end up beating us by 12 1/1000ths of a second to take 3rd. But I don't care with this one, because we have finally got back to the promised land of A+. And on that very happy note, guys, I am going to end the video there. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit the like button and make sure you're subscribed to the channel if you haven't already. Thanks again so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.